stone steps or something to get to it, but he was poorer than anybody here is poor. It was amazing, but he was filled with the Spirit of God. And he wasn't always, but when Show Mercy, you can start putting my pictures up, Dave. It was when Show Mercy came to him and started visiting him and helping him. They bring him food every day, every week. They bring him a package of food, and we visit and interact with him, just have a friendly visit, and at the end, present the food packet that they sent. And he had a daughter who was old also, but he had a stroke and his left side was weak, and so when you high-five in both hands, you had to be gentle on the left hand. But he was a Catholic, and I don't know what kind of relationship he had before, but when Show Mercy came to him and visits him regularly, he has a living relationship with Jesus. And here's this weak old man who doesn't have enough food and just doesn't have anything, and yet he was speaking words of encouragement to us, and through the Show Mercy staff person who interpreted all our conversation, and he was giving us words of encouragement, and I was overwhelmed, and just told him that he was my brother, and we had a connection. We made a connection, Vincent and I, and the whole rest of the time, I just saw my brothers. My brother when we went to Say No to Hunger program, Shadrach was the younger brother of a staff member who had been a sponsored child himself. And he showed me his brother and his little sister, and his mother was the pastor of a church. She has 9 children and adopted 3 more, and her husband, Pastor George, died 2 years ago, and she's my sister, and I'm so touched by her. And then when I got there, she said, "Come pray for my son, Enoch." And so I spent some time with Enoch when other people were doing other stuff, ministering. And Enoch and I just sat over in the corner, and I prayed for him, and I prayed in the Spirit, and I prayed in the understanding, and he said, I stopped, he said, "Pray for me some more." And so I just saw these people, the children, the adults, wonderful Pastor Fred of Baca Church, who preaches the same messages. Scott, pardon, because Scott gave him a book. But he's got the same liberated message, and so he's my brother, and I'm just all of them. The ones that knew Christ well, the ones that didn't, and the Show Mercy staff. The first morning we were there because we came in the middle of the night. The first morning we were there, the Show Mercy staff, from the guys who were doing grounds maintenance to the security staff to the kitchen staff, they were all welcoming us and honoring. We were so honored that we would be there, and they're the on-the-ground feet for this thing, but they were honored and welcoming us, and it's just, the brotherhood of believers is just awesome.
So I want to brag on Ellen a little. First of all, if we ever forgot a name, Ellen knew all the names.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I get Anthony in a while.
Yeah, that's understandable because they look a lot alike. But like we could say, that other girl, and she'd say, Rebecca or whatever. And so she was our go-to gal for remembering things. I was actually going to share, if you didn't, about Vincent, because what I saw myself and Kathy were also with her, and Kathy and I, after a few minutes, just kind of like laid back, because she and Vincent were like new best friends, and she just really shone with him, and I don't know, there really was a connection. It was fun to watch, so we just kind of hung back. She had it going on. She just was so passionate about everything, and a few times she screamed out, and I would go, and it was something she was excited about, not a terrorist attack as I thought. Yeah, she would see, you know, whatever it was, a certain plant or something, and she'd go, oh, and I'd go, you know, thinking I'm gonna hit the floor is what I'm thinking, and it was something beautiful that she was admiring, and we just had a lot of fun. She kept right up with us, and I don't know, Ellen, you were amazing, and it was a real privilege to have you on the team. I'm sure she has more stories, so at lunch, grab her and hear some more. But she